Steve Orlando and Bernard Chang explore what has happened to the mutants in this alternate reality as Magneto learns that the long-dead Charles Xavier is inhabiting his mind, and it's up to him, Emma Frost, and the Mutant Force to get to him before the Squadron Supreme find them. Like in the tie-ins before, Steve Orlando crafts a wonderfully creative alternate reality story, stripping back all of the recent Hickman X-Men stuff to do something that feels a little bit more like the X-Men you'd see in sort of an early to mid-2000s run of the book. It's kind of hard to explain, but it had that type of feeling to it with all of these different characters. Like the other alternate reality stories Heroes Reborn has spawned, I thoroughly enjoyed how little changes like Charles Xavier being killed in a battle changes this world's mutants for better and worse, and it obviously changes none more so than Magneto, who is kind of torn between his usual personality as well as Charles, leading to him being a bit more sympathetic. And I enjoyed the idea that Erik and Charles both took opposite pathways than what they usually have, with Charles being a bit more hard-lined and militaristic towards humans, while Erik was a bit more reserved in himself. The cliffhanger ending was really well handled as well, and I'm looking forward to the big revelation getting explored more in the next issue. Bernard Chang expertly designs a fun and action-packed alternate reality take on the X-Men, giving each character a cool new design that still keeps their base aspects of their original looks, but with a more quote-unquote at-war look to them. I really liked Magneto's costume of this issue, and it's something I'd love to see him fully take on when the books get back to normal. It's a simple update on his classic costume that fits really well. Magneto and the Mutant Force issue 1 was another fun exploration into the mutant side of Heroes Reborn, filling in some details on what happened to this world's mutants while taking us on a fun action-packed story that ends with a cool cliffhanger. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Magneto and the Mutant Force issue 1 finds Emma Frost met by Magneto and his team, who plan on freeing her from the Psionic detention center she's imprisoned in. Emma knows why they are there despite Erik wanting to explain on the way, knowing that it's a hit back against the Squadron Supreme of America. Years prior, the Mutant Force battled the Squadron at Capitol Hill after a senator tries to push a Mutant Registration Act through Congress. Mystique is killed by Skymax as Xavier is cut in half by Power Princess. Erik feels the man's final psychic outburst in his mind despite wearing his helmet, as Rogue attacks Skymax for what he did to her mother, sucking his life energy from the scroll, but not killing him, wanting him to watch as the mutant stands up to those with the power used against them. Emma knows that they have no hope to avenge the mutant massacre of that day, but Erik says that that's why they have come, since while the Squadron murdered Charles, the children of the Atom aren't so easily silenced. He knows 3 days ago on the anniversary of Charles's death, he heard the man's voice again in his mind, giving Erik back his hope. Emma knows that the Squadron will have been alerted thanks to Erik's daydream, but the others know that Xavier lives and he is in Magneto's head, and while Mr. 1 and 2 are telepathic hammers, they need a scalpel like Emma for this. But they know that she is just as scared as they are about their future, and this mission will help mutants be less afraid. She knows the Squadron won't be long, but the mutants know that their best response time is 3 minutes, so it's clear sailing for them. Suddenly, Mr. 1 is killed by the arriving psionic-proof Phantom team. Frenzy attacks the team along with Jubilee, who blinds the guards with her energy beams as Magneto uncouples his floating chair and uses the pieces to spear the men, defeating them all. Rogue reassures Jubilee that they will all live, but Emma knows that their masters will probably kill them for failing. Erik wants to get to work, so later on Island M, Emma is shown around the mutant safe haven, told that they save who they can. Emma knows that Rogue doesn't think of this as her home, and her thoughts are almost alien, so Rogue says that she's been thinking about Skymax lately, whom she thought she was teaching a lesson to when she got a hold of him in the battle, and had she not gone so far, she wouldn't be dreaming of scrolls every night. Emma knows that she will need to go further when the Squadron finds them, as later, Emma is met by Sabra, who isn't too impressed with Emma's involvement, but Emma knows that there is something of Charles buried in Magneto's mind, and it's buried deep, probably with his humility. Emma knows that she could sense it in Erik, but she knows if they are to do this, they will be at the whim of one of the most powerful telepaths telepaths defending himself like a wounded tiger. Erik knows the risks, telling Sabra to keep watch out in the real world. Emma connects the team to Erik's mind, telling him to follow the furry diamond trail. Inside his mind, they find themselves back on the battlefield they fought the squadron on, knowing that Charles has been redecorating. Emma knows that Charles's mind crashed like a comet into Erik's subconsciousness. Jubilee can't believe that these are Charles's thoughts, since he was never one for much destruction, and there is much here. But Frenzy knows that the squadron doesn't care about destruction, having scapegoated mutants with the destruction. She knows the mutants have a right to be angry, as Magneto wonders how he couldn't notice Charles in here all this time, but Emma knows that he didn't allow it to be seen, only choosing this moment to show himself and be saved. There is a rumbling as suddenly the ground is transported to Utopia Isle, Power Princess's home, where they face the nuked people of the Isle, people that Charles killed inside Magneto's mind. Something Emma knows makes sense, since Charles was bisected by their leader. Magneto knows he's using the Utopians to lash out at them, so the team battle the zombie skeletons, with Rogue knowing the real Utopians definitely weren't warrior women, since they're all killed by germs Power Princess brought back to the island. During the battle, Rogue is stabbed by one of the zombies, taking him back to the real world, where she tells Sabra the professor has one hell of a mind. Sabra is glad that she woke, as the Squadron Supreme are knocking at their door, as outside, Magma keeps Hyperion and Power Princess busy, while Jamie Madrox gets people to shelters. She knows that they have mere minutes, as in Erik's mind, Emma keeps trying to anchor the team in his mind, knowing that Frenzy is helping thanks to taking down most of the zombies. Suddenly, the floor cracks open beneath them as Power Princess and Hyperion attack Magma. The team soon arrive at Charles's old mansion, where he trained the original 5 mutant students. Emma calls them all child soldiers, but Magneto knows that he never wanted them to be like that, and humanity forced their hand. Jubilee says that time is wasting and they need to get inside the mansion, as Jubilee uses her powers to give a small knock on the door, but the door soon explodes along with the mansion, engulfing her and Frenzy. Emma knows that they were vaporized by yet another failsafe in Charles's mind, returned to the real world, leaving only Erik and Emma left in his mind. The duo soon come across a giant statue of Hyperion, who holds Charles's body in a crystalline box. Emma knows that his current state raises the question of what half have they come for? Is this the Charles they knew, or is it something different? Erik tells her to step aside so he can save Charles, but Emma knows that the statue is Charles's last defense. Emma touches the statue, knowing Xavier will need someone to trust, hence why she's going to take the brunt of this trap and leave Erik. Erik thinks that she could die from this, but Emma knows that if she does, Erik might be trapped in there forever, and at least he'll have Charles to keep him company. Out on the island, the mutants are beaten by Hyperion and Power Princess as Emma returns to their reality, wanting to get to the fighting as well. Erik meanwhile soon finds the very much alive Charles, helping out his friend as Emma confronts Power Princess again, knowing that her queen has arrived. Rogue meanwhile battles Hyperion, who says that they tracked Emma thanks to Dr. Spectrum's energy tracker they put on all of their prisoners. He knows that he won't go easy on her just because Skymax is inside her head, since he never liked the scroll anyway. Rogue agrees with that as Erik helps Charles up, telling him that he should have done more for the man and protected him. He knows that he carved a place out for the people, but nothing lives that hides forever, and mutant kind knows who he is, as he is the man who let his closest friend die. Erik removes his helmet as Charles says Erik's compassion isn't what held him there, it was his anger, making Charles survive as a broken idea in Magneto's mind, but he knows only a master of magnetism can knit him back together. Magneto uses his powers to try and do so, knowing it can't be as simple as this, as Charles grabs him, forcing his power into Erik's head. Hyperion meanwhile overthrows the mutants, knowing this didn't have to happen, knowing the mutants could have just taken what they were given, but they overstepped their bounds. The people on the island confront him, throwing rocks at him as they say that if they fight the Mutant Force, he's fighting the whole species. Erik meanwhile is fed upon by Charles, who says that he was just wearing Charles Xavier like a suit and isn't actually the real Xavier. The being says that Charles did not escape death and they have spent years recovering from the trauma. Erik says that they will kill the being for this, knowing that Charles is there somewhere. The voice tells him to be quiet since this was all just a trap and they are claiming his flesh, knowing nothing lives that hides forever, just like Erik said. Hyperion meanwhile is tackled down by Frenzy and Sabra as Emma turns the battle on Power Princess, but is grabbed by the warrior who says that they ground diamonds like Emma for clay on her island, wondering what she will mold her corpse into. Emma hopes that it's a block upon which Power Power Princess's head is taken, as Jubilee comes to her aid, blasting Power Princess as Hyperion wants Zada to finish this off now, but Power Princess wants to continue the fight. Suddenly, the hero begins disintegrating along with Hyperion, who says that he can see his cells blinking out of existence. The heroes are all turned to dust as Emma notes that someone has been hiding a talent. The mutants know that none of them are able to do this, as Jubilee wonders if now they are suddenly killing people. In the sky above them, a bright light explodes over the island, and Rogue asks if this is the Professor's doing, as a voice says that those ants have been deposited into the outer planets of the galaxy, meaning it will be some weeks before they return home. Rogue knows that this isn't the Professor, as the voice says that they aren't as useless as he was, and the time for kind words has passed, since they are mutant kind's new alpha. The being is revealed to be Xavier's sister, Cassandra Nova, who says that it's time the mutants are freed from the darkness by the force of a star gone nova.